So I'm making this video about how to wear masks safely and effectively, since I know a lot of us right now are trying to use masks to help prevent the spread of COVID-19. However, not a lot of us have had training or experience in using this piece of personal protective equipment. And that's what we need to think of it as. It is a piece of equipment. And like any piece of equipment, if you use it correctly, it can be both safe and effective. However, like so many pieces of equipment, if you use it incorrectly, you can hurt yourself or you can actually hurt others. And while you might easily see why a knife being used incorrectly is not safe, a mask can also be unsafe for you and for others if used incorrectly. So we're going to go over what are the safe ways and what are the unsafe ways to use this piece of personal protective equipment. So to start off, we're ready to put on our mask. Great. Are we? Are our hands clean? This is what you're going to be using to touch the thing that's going to be touching your face. And your mouth and your nose are your primary routes for which this virus is going to gain access to the tissue that it likes to infect. So you should not be handling your mask if your hands are not clean. So this means soap and water for 20 seconds. And we mean washing our hands vigorously, because soap and water doesn't kill the virus, it just washes it away if you have washed thoroughly. If you just kind of played around in the water, all you did was hydrate the virus. So again, not really effective. So now you've got clean hands. What are you going to do? Grab your mask, put it in your pocket, and drive on off to the grocery store? Well, your pocket probably isn't a really clean, safe place, and your car is probably not what we would consider a trusted, safe, clean space, because you're going to go to the grocery store, you're going to touch all the things, you're going to get gas, people are going to be in and out of your car. All the surfaces in your car are not exactly what we would consider clean or trusted surfaces. So now your clean washed hands are no longer clean once you get to the grocery store. So realistically, what I do is I don my mask prior to getting into the car. So I wash my hands, I've dried them, now I'm ready to put on my mask. So how do we put on our masks? Well, we want to do it with as little touching of, again, the surfaces that are going to touch our face as possible. So mask goes on. If it has a wire nose piece, which hopefully it does, you pinch it down, because this is what allows you to wear masks with glasses and still be allowed to see. And you want to have a mask that comes up clearly over the bridge of your nose and under your chin. If you don't have this level of coverage with your mask, it's not going to really be very effective. This is kind of the zone you want to cover. Also, my mouth isn't touching the mask. There's a nice pocket, because once your mouth is in direct contact, there's not that air gap. I'm going to be more likely to potentially suck or pull particles through the mask, which obviously you don't want, and I might be able to better force particles through the mask. So again, you want that sort of gap in the mask, and that's why doing this little dealy bob is terrible. Please don't do it. It makes the little medical and science people cry. One, now I'm like actually preferentially breathing in this filtered surface, outer surface of my mask, which assume has been trapping virus particles. If I sneeze and I'm the infected one, absolutely going to send that everywhere. I'm also going to send it on my mask. So now if I touch my mask to put it back up, well, now I've touched this sneezed on surface And now I'm going to go touch that orange, but I didn't really like that orange, so I'm going to put it back. That's why incorrect mask wearing can actually increase your chances of infecting yourself or others. So you do not, again, this is a tool. You want to use the tool correctly so it's safe and effective. Do not wear it underneath your nose where you're going to be sneezing on it, where it is not protecting your nose from inhaling particles, and it is not preventing you from spewing out particles. Do not put it there. If you are a person with glasses, make sure you get one that has a nose band so that you can see if that's the reason you're wearing it underneath your nose. I really don't like seeing it around the neck because, again, it's touching all the things, and you want this to be a clean surface until you're done, the inner part at least, a clean surface until you're done. And now if it's sitting here hanging out around your neck, and this is what you're going to put back on your face, your sweaty neck is just, you don't want that. So let's say you go, okay, well, but Jackie, I now need to eat or drink. I need to take my mask off for a bit. What do I do with it? Well, the best thing that I carry around with me is a paper lunch bag. This is what my mask goes in, because we've had series of tests that have seen how long the virus survives on surfaces, and it survives quite well on plastic. So we don't really want to put our masks in plastic bags, but it doesn't survive nearly as long in paper. So I keep my masks stored in paper bags, and I actually label them for, days of the week, because again, the virus only survives for so many days. So, in 4 or 5 days, I come back and I can reuse that mask, because that virus, if there was virus on it, dead as a doornail, don't need to worry about it anymore. I can now safely reuse that mask. So, and obviously when I'm taking off the mask, again, I'm going to try and not touch this, going to just touch the earpieces, take it off, put it in its bag, and then I'm going to wash my hands again, because I've still handled this, and if I've been out and about and breathing through things, and hopefully this has been filtering things, then I don't particularly trust my hands now, and this is where I wash my hands, and I leave the mask now for 4 to 5 days before I reuse. So this is how I would recommend you use masks to be both safe and effective, to reduce other people's as well as your own risk of contracting or spreading the COVID-19 virus. So I hope you found this helpful. Take care, be safe. I want you all around here in the future.